won't have that luxury since it's live. I feel like it'll come out better. So I just want to say, as far as like being a parent, I try not to tell people what to do because I'm not a parent. And when you're a parent, you do what is right for your kids and you do you and other people do them. So I don't want to be a hypocrite in that way and tell people what to do. But I do have to comment on every time I talk about something. Like there's this post on my buddy, the Typical Liberals page, I believe. And it's talking about a kid who's been kicked out of school like dozens of times because they won't wear the mask. And my comment, I said, you know, at what point do people put their kid in a homeschool or a private school? I understand it's expensive, but like at what point do you take your kid out of these government schools if they're abusing your kid, you know, psychologically, mentally, in some cases physically, and also brainwashing them with all this far left propaganda? Just a question, at what point do you pull your kids out? And I know it's not easy, I understand that, but that's the main answer I get for everything. Say, it's not that easy. You know, people say, well, it's not that easy. It's not easy. That's not easy to do. And then it's the same thing with the mandates, as far as I'm like, you know, I know you don't believe in that. If you believe in it, do what you got to do. I don't tell people what to do medically, but I know people don't believe in it. And they say to me, well, I don't want to get tested weekly, but it's not that easy. You know, I don't want to wear the mask, but it's not that easy. I can't lose a job. It's not that easy. And it's like, nothing in life is easy. I think that's the problem in America is everybody wants something easy. They want the microwavable meal. They want what's easy. And what's easy got us here. And I feel like my ancestors came from Poland and Italy, and they came to America. It wasn't easy. My grandparents used to tell me from Italy that they used to make their underwear out of potato sacks. They didn't have the money to get underwear and go buy it, so they made it out of potato sacks. And then they came to America. It was one of the hardest things they could have done because their family, all of their ancestors, etc., were from Italy. It's not easy to come to America, but you come to America, it's the tough thing to do, but it's the thing that's going to be better for your future generations, and you want your kid to grow up in a prosperous area. So if you can't do it, or I understand it's difficult, but it just weirds me out when the number one thing I hear when nobody wants to do it, it's not easy, it's not easy, it's not easy, it's not easy. That's not easy. Well, that's not easy. And then the same people want to say to me when I tell them what I do and where I take a stand, they say, well, Namli, you can do that because you just make internet videos, or you can do that because you run your own business, or you can do that because you saved up money. Well, how do you think I did all of this? Because I didn't take the easy route. If I would have took the easy route, I would be where you were, stuck in a position where I didn't know what to do, trying to find the easy route. But I took the hard route. I put in the work that people didn't want to put in. I took the risks that people didn't want to take. I was broke when people wanted a steady job. I was an entrepreneur when people said it wasn't cool. I was doing rap when people said you can't do that. People said I needed a plan B and a plan C, and I didn't take the easy route. So I got here by not taking the easy route. And then the people who took the easy route, who want to continue to take the easy route, then will tell me, well, you can feel that way because you are where you are, but if you want to get to there, that's by not taking the easy route. And if our ancestors came over from other countries, a lot of us, not everybody, some people were here, but a lot of people came over from other countries, that wasn't easy. So at what point, that's what I want to ask parents, without being a hypocrite, because I will raise my own children when it's right, and I will hopefully have a lot, and I'll do what I want to do, and you will do what you want to do. I don't like to be that person that doesn't have kids, but tells everybody else what to do with their kids. That's not what I want to do, but I want to ask you, why are you looking for the easy route? And at what point do you decide no? When they're teaching your kid far leftism that you don't agree with, and your kids hate you, and you send them off to college to go $100,000 in debt to come out dumber than they came in, and now they hate you, they hate their grandparents, they hate everything you taught them. Is that not the line to draw? What about when they're psychologically abusing and mentally abusing, and in some case physically abusing your children at school by making them wear this product that you don't believe strapped across their face, so now they can't even communicate normally because part of your smile and your facial expressions, that's part of communication, by the way. They're just cutting that off and psychologically and mentally abusing children for decades and decades to come. You know it's wrong, you know it's harmful, you know it's abusive, but you still put them through that every day because it's easy. It's not. It's too hard. It's just easy to drop your kids off and let the government abuse them and let these teachers abuse them and teach them for 9 hours a day, unwinding what you taught them growing up. You put them in school and you tell them, listen to your teacher, and then these psychos are telling them all this stuff that is completely against your family, your religion, what you believe in, and that's your excuse for dropping your kids off there. That's easy. Once again, I don't want to tell people how to raise a family, but if everybody's idea, when the number one excuse that I hear for all this stuff, I'm going to let the government and these schools psychologically, mentally, and physically abuse my children, because it's the easy thing to do. I'm not going to take them out because that's the easy thing to do. Well, I'm going to go with this medical agenda I don't agree with. Of course, I agree with you, Emily, but it's not easy to do that. So I'm just going to keep going along with it. And then the longer you play along, the further it goes. The more they abuse your children, the farther gone their school curriculums get. The more abusive your corporation gets, because now you've kind of allowed them to be like, well, this is the new normal, and this is what we can do. And if we can do that, then we can do that. It's not like you comply and then they give you your freedom back. It's the exact opposite. You don't give up the First Amendment to get the First Amendment. You don't give up the Second Amendment to get the Second Amendment. You hold the line on the First and Second Amendment, and those are yours. So you don't give up your free speech to get it back in 3 years. When you give it up, you lose. When you give ground, you lose. So that's what they're doing with all this medical stuff. And I just put that kind of together recently on all fronts, whether it be dropping their kids off to get abused at school under a policy that they don't want, or getting abused by their workers to make money. The number one excuse I hear is it's not easy. It's not easy. But once again, our ancestors at a certain point, whether you were born here and had to deal with some of the wicked things that were happening in the 1900s, or whether your family came from another country. A lot of people escaped Cuba. They escaped communism in Europe. It wasn't easy. That wasn't easy. But they understood making the hard, tough decision now would benefit their families for generations to come. And that's what they did. And that's the problem in this country. If you look at obesity now compared to obesity back in the day, it's astronomical now. If you look at the amount of pills people are on now versus the amount of pills people are on today, or the type of foods people are eating, this is because everybody wants it easy. They want the easy route. Everything's so easy in America, and it's a beautiful thing. I'm so grateful, but that's not how you get success. That's not how you set your family up for success. That's not how you become, wealthy, whether it be mentally, spiritually, financially, whatever it is. It's not the easy route. It's never that. In fact, that's not how you work. If you work out for a minute, it's easy. If you lay in bed all day, it's easy. But over time, your body's going to wear down, because the easy route is actually not the good route. That's kind of how everything works. So when that's the number one thing I'm hearing from all angles, I just wanted to let my brothers and sisters in America and around the world know that, everything is easy if you don't do anything. But at a certain point, where do you draw the line with your children, especially? Because I hate seeing, just like I hate seeing, that concert where all the kids died. I don't want to bring up specific people, but this rap, not to get on a tangent, but this pill popping rap, like popping pills, and all I do is pop pills. It's killing these kids. This is music designed to kill kids and kill teenagers and kill 20 and 30-year-olds. What else is it? Take pills. Pills are cool. Let's see how many pills I can take. That's a good way to kill hundreds of thousands of kids and teens and adults, and that's what they're doing. This music is designed to kill people. Might be the easy route, but it's not the right route. It's easy to listen to this music. Yeah, but it's wicked music. And on the political and school front, they're pushing further and further and further at degenerating your children, at harming your children, at abusing your children on every level. And I just keep hearing, well, it's easy to do that. I mean, at a certain point, once again, it's like you're dropping your kid off at school. They're teaching them stuff you don't believe in. They're making them they're training them in the youth years. They could be anything. Their minds are like mold, where they're learning, and that's what they're learning. Put this on your face for 8 hours a day. Your smile doesn't matter. Your facial expressions doesn't matter. That type of facial communication doesn't matter. You can't hear as well. They are not only brainwashing your kids, they are abusing them. They're hurting your children. Abuse. Your kids are being abused. They're abusing them. They're abusing them. I'm saying it over and over because I want to get it through parents' heads. I know it's not easy, but they're abusing your children. At what point do you do something about it? My line in the sand, because I don't have children right now, but I will not be abused. So when people try to treat me this way, I say, I'm not a slave, I'm not a peasant, I'm not a serf, I'm not a lab rat, and I'm not an abused show animal. So you're not going to treat me this way, okay? And you go over an hour to Los Angeles, and that's how they're treating all the people there, like slaves, like lab rats, like serfs, like animals. And if you go to Orange County, or you go to Florida, or you go to most places in Arizona, they don't live that way because the people don't allow it. But the people in LA either allow it or go along with it. But that's where I draw my personal line and say, I am not this. And I will never do that. So I would think when I have children, once again, I don't want to be a hypocrite because I could just do it and then I could, show you how to do it. But it's like, I highly, highly, highly doubt once they're abusing I could not allow that. I couldn't live with myself if I allowed that. I would give the shirt off my back, the last dollar in my bank account, do whatever I had to do, go broke, eat less, whatever I had to do to know that my kids were not being psychologically, mentally, and physically abused by the government and the school system. So, do what you want, whatever makes you feel good at night. But if you're looking for the easy route, so are hundreds of millions of Americans. That's why obesity, diabetes, heart disease is rising, and nobody does anything anymore. Nobody builds, nobody creates, A lot of people do, but in general, it's like our country is too easy, okay? The microwavable era made everything too easy. The television era made everything too easy. And that's the number one thing I hear. It's not, it's best for my children. It's not, I couldn't possibly do it if I worked my hardest. It's not that easy. I've heard it 1,000 times. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. Well, it's not that easy. Well, it's not that easy. Okay, then let your kid get abused 5 days a week. And do you feel good sitting on the couch? Do you feel good? I would work 3 jobs, 4, whatever the hell I had to do. There's no way I would let that happen to my family. So let me know what you guys think. God bless you. But I really do. Looking at the state of the world right now, you got kids dropping dead at concerts. And, a lot of this music, if you listen to the lyrics, I'm not going to blame this person individually, although that seemed crazy. But listen to the lyrics. They are killing your kids. Like all the lyrics are like, take pills, pop in pills, take the pills to just drink pills. Oh man, take more and more and more. And a lot of these rappers, they've said in interviews, I'm not going to name specifics, but they've admitted in interviews that, we don't even take pills. We just rap about them. So it's like, at least if you took pills and you're a pill head, it's like you're rapping about your story and you have issues. And, there's rappers that are like, getting through it, talking about rehab, etc. That's one thing. If you do it, you do it. A lot of these rappers are like professional killers. Like they don't even do the drugs they talk about. They just tell your kids to do them and your kids do them. Your kids die, from fentanyl and opioid overdoses. And they're like, oh yeah, we don't do that stuff. You think we do that? No, we just rap about it. So it's like on every level, kids are being attacked and teenagers are being attacked and 20 and 30-year-olds are being attacked more than ever. And it really just breaks my heart just watching so many parents either not give a crap at all, act like it's not a big deal, or maybe perhaps worse than all that is just admit that they don't want to do anything, not because they can't or not because they couldn't up their, what they have to do, but just because it's just so easy. But that's the message of the day is, it's easy to do nothing. It's easy to just sit there. It's easy is not necessarily a good thing. In workouts and, diet and exercise and life and relationships, like the easy is not what this country needs right now. We need people like our ancestors from 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 years ago who took the difficult, challenging, but beneficial route that will help our country and our family for generations to come. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours. God bless you. And I just wanted to say that because I keep hearing that. And I'm like, who told you that this stuff was going to be easy? And when it comes to me and people say, well, you can do that. That's because I didn't take the easy route. Appreciate y'all. God bless you. Good luck with your family. Don't want to tell people what to do. But stop looking for the easy route. These are tough times. And the easy's not going to cut it anymore. So everybody's too easy. That's why our country's falling. We need people to get tough. Men, families, Americans, no more easy. We've had enough of that. God bless you guys.